Hey everyone, welcome back to She Tried It. So today's video is talking about some Lion Brand yarns that I think you need to try. So I've been working with Lion Brand yarn pretty much since the start of my knitting and crochet journey. I have 8 yarns I just want to tell y'all about and get y'all introduced to. You probably heard of most of them, you probably heard of all of them, or maybe you've heard of none of them. So I need to introduce you, so let's hop right into it. The first yarn I want to introduce you to is called Heartland. Now this is a yarn that is very close to my heart because one of my biggest makes on this channel was using Heartland yarn. I'll put up some thumbnails off to the side, and any thumbnail that you see, there's a video for me using that Lion Brand yarn. And if you check the description box below, you can go straight to the video and watch a little bit more about these Lion Brand yarns. So Heartland, my first big make with that yarn was a crochet Ruana, and that thing was just so cute. I also used Heartland yarn for the Ivy top, and I used it for the campsite waffle stitch cardigan, and all those makes are just absolutely beautiful. So Heartland yarn is an acrylic yarn that comes in some beautiful colors. What I love most about Heartland yarn is it's not your typical yarn with just a solid red or a solid black or blue. It comes kind of variegated, I think is the best way to say it. So it's not just a plain color, but it's a color with a little bit of pizzazz, which I really like. I would suggest Heartland yarn for any kind of winter make or cool weather make. It's not something that you'd use for a summer top or a spring top or anything like that. It will definitely keep you warm, so you wouldn't want to be making it for anything in the summertime. But you definitely need to check out Heartland yarn, a great acrylic yarn. You can get it pretty much at any big box craft store, and you can also get it off the Lion Brand website, and they pretty much always have it in stock. But I'll leave some links below too. The next yarn you need to try, and these top 2 are like really big, and then the last one's also gonna be really big, but it's a little bit new to me. The next yarn you need to try is called Truboo. This yarn, unlike Heartland, is perfect for summer makes. If you live in Texas or if you live anywhere in the South, you must have this yarn for like 90% of your makes. Because let's face it, we don't really get a winter. When we get a winter, we probably don't need something as thick as acrylic, and I'm actually learning that the hard way. Unless if there's just some crazy weather going on, it's very rare that I need to be dressed for cool weather too much of the year. It makes more sense to have way more Truboo in my stash than Heartland, but both yarns are great. So Truboo I've used for quite a few makes. Like I said, I do typically use it for summer makes. The Everyday Maxi, which was a beautiful long maxi dress that I made, very cute. The next make I have is the Summer Breeze Crop 2.0, which is a really nice crop top that is just in this beautiful pink color. Pink and white in Truboo are probably 2 of my favorites, but there's still so many colors I need to try. But as of now, pink and white have really won it for me. The next thing I made is the Shoulder Shift tank top and the Shoulder Shift dress. I used white Truboo yarn for both of those makes. These are all super cute makes. The drape with Truboo, I know I tell you this all the time, and if you've used Truboo, then you probably already know, but if you've never experienced like the perfect drape that you want from a top, it's probably because you're not using Truboo and you really need to get your hands on it. This yarn is also very easily available in any box store. Michael's definitely has it. Joanne may have it. Also, it's definitely at the Lion Brand website. The color range is absolutely great, but it does primarily come in, I would say, more summer colors. So if you're looking to make a more winter project with this yarn, you probably won't have too much luck with it because it does have very summery colors. But hey, I don't want to stop your creativity, so you can try to make a winter make with this yarn because the drape will still be amazing. One thing I will say about Truboo is that some people complain about it splitting, and what I found was when I was using very cheap crochet hooks, it was not working very well. When I got more quality crochet hooks and knitting needles, I didn't have that splitting issue anymore. I think that if you use cheap tools with a quality yarn like this, you're gonna have some problems. But if you upgrade your tools with this upgraded yarn, it's a match made in heaven. The next yarn I used is called Fisherman's Wool, and I used this actually for 2 makes. The makes that I made with Fisherman's Wool are this buttonless mug cozy that was really nice. It was a mug cozy that you put on, it wrapped around the handle, and it was really nice and just kept your hand away from the heat or your hand away from the cool, whatever drink that you were drinking. The other make that I use this yarn for is the I'm So Basic socks, and these were some very easy beginner friendly socks that I made with this yarn. And I think wool is kind of like the suggested material for sock making. I'm not a sock knitter, so I can't really speak to that, but I do know you see way more people knitting with wool for socks than you do with cotton or acrylic. Those aren't really sock yarns. Fisherman's Wool, while it is a great wool yarn, it is hard to get your hands on. You pretty much exclusively have to get it from Lion Brand, but if you can get it from Lion Brand, I highly recommend that because this is a great yarn and it has some really great colors. The third yarn I want to mention is a classic, and it is called Pound of Love, and I use this to make the marigold top, which is a really, really nice top. It's very popular in the crochet community. This is a top that has a pretty basic front and back panel, but the sleeves are what make the top. I think that the Pound of Love paired perfectly with this pattern. The great thing about Pound of Love is that it's a beautiful acrylic yarn that's easy to get your hands on. Any box store pretty much has it, and you get, I think, a pound of yarn, but you get over 1,000 yards of yarn. So if you have a big blanket or just some huge project that you want to make, Pound of Love is definitely the yarn to go with because you get so much. So if you're making a sweater or something and you don't want to have to buy 10 skeins of yarn, you could just go ahead and buy maybe 1 or 2 skeins of Pound of Love, and that's all you need. You're set. The next yarn you need to try is Wool Ease Thick and Quick. So Wool Ease as a line comes in a lot of different weights, but I'm specifically talking about Wool Ease Thick and Quick. I actually don't think I've ever used the regular Wool Ease, so you really need to make sure you pay attention to the label because there's a jumbo Wool Ease, there's a worsted Wool Ease, but Wool Ease Thick and Quick is a super bulky yarn that's about 80% acrylic and 20% wool, and that blend is perfect for any winter make. And because it's super bulky, it's so quick to work up any project. This is the yarn that I used for the daybreak crochet tapestry that I made and put on my wall in my bedroom, and it's still there, thriving. I love it. This yarn has held up very, very well. Unlike the other yarns, I haven't used this yarn for an actual wearable make, but I do plan on doing that in the future, and this is a great yarn, especially if you live in a cold climate and if you don't want to spend months working on a project. This will work up quick and it'll keep you warm. The next yarns, 2 yarns that we're going to talk about are from my bestie. The first one is Hue Me by 2 of Wands, and we've talked about how much I love 2 of Wands, by far one of my favorite designers. And I used Hue Me also when I was making the daybreak crochet tapestry. I used quite a few different yarns in that one. I also used it for the weekend brunch scarf. This was a beautiful knit scarf that I made using waffle stitch, and I also taught y'all how to read a knit pattern, so if you missed that video, definitely go check it out. This was a great yarn to use this scarf because it was a bulky weight yarn. It comes with a lot of great colors, and just like Wool Ease, it has 80% acrylic and 20% wool. So that nice blend keeps you so warm. And I feel like 2 of Wands is constantly adding new colors because she has added way more colors than when the line first came out. The next yarn I think you need to try is Color Theory, and this is also by 2 of Wands. She is just on a roll with Lion Brand, making these beautiful yarn lines, and I am loving every single one. However, I really want her to make a mercerized cotton thread. That would be ideal for me, but I don't even know if that's on the radar. Anyways, Color Theory is a worsted weight acrylic yarn that comes in a bunch of great colors. The beautiful thing about the colors that this yarn comes in is that they're so complementary to each other. It's almost impossible to find one yarn that doesn't complement the other. And the fact that they can pair so well together, it makes it a really beautiful yarn to have in your collection because you can make so many things by combining 2 random colors. I did use this yarn for a wearable for the Waffleicious cardigan that I made earlier this year, and this yarn is perfect for that. It worked up really quickly because I think that yarn, even though it used a worsted weight yarn, which is already kind of thick for crochet, at least to me, it also used a bigger hook. I feel like that cardigan didn't take me any time at all. Because this yarn is called Color Theory, you better believe that the colors that they have in this line are absolutely perfect. I highly recommend checking out this yarn or any yarn by 2 of Wands because not only does she provide great yarns, but she provides great knit and crochet patterns that you can make with these yarns. So if you have no idea what to do, head over to Lion Brand's website. You could check out a kit, you could check out her patterns, and just find ways to check out these yarns. The last yarn I want to mention today is very new today, but I've been quite addicted to. I have been madly in love with Lion Brand's 24/7 cotton. This is 100% mercerized cotton yarn, and I just realized that I really, really love mercerized cotton, and I've been using this yarn for everything. I used it for my polychrome purse pattern that I made. I'm using it for another future kit that I'm working on with Lion Brand, and I used it for my black or white bucket hat that I released recently. So this is definitely going in the favorites with all the other ones that I mentioned earlier. This yarn is very easy to access. It's found at most of your big box stores. However, there are so many colors. So just to make sure that you're getting all the colors that are available to you, I highly recommend checking out the Lion Brand website because the stores don't always have all the colors. They have black and white and some of the off-white colors. This line has so many options, and you definitely want to see all your options so that you make the best choice. But yeah, that is all the yarns for today. I hope I introduced you to something. I hope you found something new today, or I hope we're on the same page and you like the same Lion Brand yarns that I do. If you want to check out more of the Lion Brand yarns, again, don't forget to check the description box, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!